American, maker of my own gravestone.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Promethean Tides. I'm General, and as always, I'm joined by Breaker. What's going on, Breaker?
And John Wilkes Booth.
Oh, okay. And we're also joined by Ian. What is going on, Ian?
No cussing. And, yeah, Ian, actually. So you know my name. I forgot. I thought you were going to say my username. Yeah, Ian here. Checking in. What up, everybody?
Cool. Now, I did just want to say this to start the show out. Majority rule don't work in mental institutions. Sometimes the smallest, softest voice carries the grand, biggest solutions. What are we left with? A nation of God-fearing pregnant nationalists who feel it's their duty to populate the homeland, pass on traditions, how to get ahead religions, and prosperity via simpleton culture. The idiots are taking over. The idiots are taking over, and I like it. I think it's cool.
Actually, I roundly disagree with that. I take the original intention of that song and say it's a horrible thing that the idiots are taking over. They shall be purged.
So, let's see. Here we have, hey, look at this. This is, it's a website, radlight.dev. Look, they have products. They have cat toys and some other electronic stuff. And they got lasers and whatnot.
These are a great way to get revenge on people. You can shoot a laser at your house in LA onto the homeless people and burn them without anyone knowing how they were getting burned.
That is one potential application, although we don't advise that.
We do not endorse assault with deadly weapons.
I'm just saying there's a lot of homeless people and trash in front of the house, and those would be great for burning the trash and homeless people for certain people.
Do not endorse starting random fires with lasers on the public.
But hey, if you like any of the products that you see there, go to radlight.dev, and if you put in the promo code General Chief, then you'll get 5% off of anything that you order. Hey, that's a deal. So go check them out and buy something, because that will help this channel. So go do that. How cool would that be?
Only use these products responsibly and in strict accordance with the user manuals. Do not use these to perform any type of extra activities that are not specifically cited in the user manual. We do not endorse misuse of high-powered lasers on the space. No. You know what? The more I think about it, the more the sponsor is maybe, I don't know. It's there's some people on this fucking show that say shit about things like this that probably shouldn't do.
Sorry. I was trying to get a cheap laugh. I know.
Yeah, so go to this site, pick up a laser. Remember, burn the trash, not the homeless person next to the trash. That's what we stand for in Promethean Tides.
Only burn trash if it's legally permissible within your municipality at certain times, because some states and municipalities have burn laws where you can't start random fires.
Well, unless that your whatever country you live in hasn't designated the homeless people as trash, in which case, I don't know the legality. But okay, so there's that website.
Fucking damn it! Every time I try and
can I use the laser to burn religious symbols on brick walls throughout my city?
Only if it's on your private property. Now, you cannot perform graffiti. You cannot deface public or private property with the lasers. If you want to use the lasers inside the privacy of your own home and private property within the boundaries of the law, you may do so. Everything else is not encouraged or endorsed.
Oh, well,
right,
that's our spokesperson right there. Thanks, thank you. So I saw this on 4chan, but I guess they linked it to Twitter, so I then saw this on Twitter, and apparently, breaking, a train carrying hazardous materials has derailed and caught fire. A catastrophic...
Oh, no, not again.
Yep, a catastrophic event has unfolded in Rockwood, Maine, as a train transporting hazardous materials has derailed and subsequently caught fire. The situation has prompted the dispatch of multiple emergency crews, including hazmat, to the scene. Authorities have issued advisories urging local residents to steer clear of the affected area. Officials say this incident is particularly alarming given its proximity to Moosehead Lake, one of the largest freshwater bodies in the state. Nice. And here's, I guess, a plane. Oh, that's a little bit loud. Just capturing some aerial footage of what is going on. There you have it. This happened, let's see, on April 15th, which is today, Saturday, or when we're recording.
One hell of a fire.
Yep.
And this is getting out of hand, man.
So there was that. I've
I have
heard
some things to say about this.
Well, go ahead.
I wonder sometimes, so like there's obviously some tension going on within the world right now, right? So like there's a lot of suspicions. People go, are these people from Russia doing this or whatever, this and that? And I actually think as far as government sabotage goes, it would be easier for people from Russia to join on these social media sites, Discord or whatever, and create a narrative in somebody that's already a little unhinged and convince them to put these sabotage thing on the train tracks, the derailment pieces. There was another one in Ohio recently, but luckily they caught it. And it just gets to a point where you're like, oh my God, man, like, I don't know. I feel it with everyone around me lately. There's a lot of people that are getting very stressed and they seem to be a little unhinged lately with the current world events, and very easily provoked to start sabotaging everything. And it really is kind of, well, I know you've expressed, General Teef, you want to go back to Monkey and burn it all to the ground. So maybe this actually delights you.
Well, okay,
We
so
do not endorse terrorism or sabotage
no, we
on
don't.
the public space.
To go back to Monkey and burn it all to ground is laser website, 5% off.
God fucking
right.
damn it! No, God, you don't fucking say that, and someone is going to shine the fucking laser pointer at something they shouldn't.
It's perfect because this is my point, right? Like the power of putting a thought in someone's head. And I think there are people actually out there that are like, hey, do you know where this train drops off its goods at? It's at this city where this mayor is super racist, and the mayor is the one running everything, and you should cause chaos. You know, like I do believe there's an element of that happening with this kind of stuff. Or it's corporate greed that is not maintaining the train tracks. But I don't know. There's a lot of trains that seem to be getting derailed lately.
Well, okay, so I'm not sure what to think.
There was a time a number of years ago when does anyone remember a time a number of years ago when that big scare about shining lasers at airplanes and causing them to potentially crash? You know, there are multiple reasons as to why that is so monumentally unlikely. Even if you were to hypothetically attempt to do something, do you realize the fucking logistics of a person standing on the ground with a laser pointer trying to point it at the cockpit of a plane and perfectly shine it into the eyes of a pilot to where they're temporarily blinded enough to cause a crash? Do you realize the fucking mind-boggling logistics of attempting to do that? That was like a totally manufactured, stupid thing that happened a few years ago.
Yeah, it could be, or maybe they were doing it when they were taking off or setting down, and you know, maybe that's when the human needs to be able to see the most, because I know that you can just be on autopilot when you're cruising, but the takeoff and landing, those are things that humans have to do. I have no idea, but I do want to say this: when it comes to the train derailments, I've heard from various people that like actually there's like 1,000 train derailments in America every year, and so like, are we actually seeing more train derailments, or is it just being reported on more? I'm not sure.
Right.
You know, that is a very good point.
myself.
That is a very good
But
point you bring up because I'm not going to say exactly where, but I lived in an area where there was a catastrophic train derailment and it did spill chemicals. They were technically hazardous chemicals, but they weren't flammable. But it took like they had to get in a hazmat cleanup crew and it took them like over a month to clean all of this up. And that happened in an area where I used to live a long time ago. I'm not going to specify exactly where or when, but yeah, like I was personally in an area with like high train traffic where something very similar to this actually happened in my living memory. So it's probably not like General Chief said. I mean, there's like 1,000 of these per year. Apparently, it's like much less than car crashes or plane crashes by orders of magnitude. But yeah,
I was I was talking to someone on Discord, and they were so upset about these train derailments that they were like, you know what? We should stop using trains to transport hazardous materials.
Oh,
We
God.
should do it with trucks. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ, that's so much worse. Like,
Yeah, like I have some experience in that area, and I can tell you like the number of accidents involving hazardous materials of that nature. I was also caught one time where they had to evacuate an entire city because anhydrous ammonia leaked out of a truck tanker.
oh,
And
I
for anyone who doesn't know, anhydrous ammonia is so poison that inhaling one breath of it is enough to drop you dead instantaneously.
good to know. Thank you. I feel like for every job or for everything destroyed, there's another job created. I just see a future where there's some kind of tracking device put on the tracks to prevent this kind of sabotage, or they're putting cameras, every so often amount of feet or every mile or whatever, and somebody's monitoring it. I mean, that seems to be the only
Well,
solution
I
at this
used
point.
to I used to live next to a train track, and they very much do have like mitigation countermeasures in place. Like anyone that's lived around trains will know this. Every so many miles on any train track in America by law, there's this little defect check station. And every time a train goes over this, there'll be like there's this little box. You've probably seen these if you've ever been around a train track and you see a little silver box. This is what that silver box is doing. It transmits a radio signal because there's like a detector on the track to see if there's anything. Basically, there's like these little wedges sticking up between the rails. And if there's any hoses or things that are disconnected from the train that hit this detector will send a radio message over like civilian broadcast radio to the train like officials that are monitoring the specific channels, and it'll either say like no defects or it will say defect detected at mile marker so and so, and then the train company will know it's like, okay, we have to stop that train because it's got a loose brake line or something that hit that detector.
well, thank you for that explanation. Okay, I also saw this on Twitter. Um, so apparently the boycott of Bud Light and other Anheuser-Busch products is apparently finished. Don Jr. He came out on Twitter and he explained this.
I'm not, though, for destroying an American and iconic company for something like this. Trust me, the memes have been so good. I'm sitting there chomping that like I want, but like when I actually look into it, I'm not going to blame the whole company for the inaction or the stupidity of someone in a marketing campaign that got woke as hell. I'm not.
So yeah, there's that. I guess Don Jr. Has decided that the boycott is over. I wonder.
Junior clearly has bought stocks in Bud Light, and now he's a bit worried.
Maybe.
Shit, Sherlock, what was your first clue?
No, I mean I like Don Jr. He's a cool dude, but
He's also a billionaire, and he learned from one of the biggest sharks in the fucking ocean. So yeah, I think Ian 3D's takeaway that there is some ulterior motive to this, definitely. But yeah,
potentially, yeah. I'm still not gonna buy Bud Light products or any Anheuser-Busch products because
I'm never buying Bud again. If it's the only, I'll buy fucking anything else.
Right. Well, I actually I went through the list of all the beer and wines and spirits that Anheuser-Busch sells, and I realized, oh, I don't buy any of these products anyway. So I will continue my boycott that I've inadvertently been doing for years now.
Hey, what about the gay discount? Let's say somebody gave you a coupon and said like, "Hey, if you just act gay and you'll get a 20% discount, would you still buy that product?"
I would
No.
not buy Bud Light because I don't believe it can get you drunk.
I would not accept Bud Light if someone said to me, it's like, all you need to do, you can be dressed in a 3-piece suit. We don't care. All you need to do is march in a gay pride parade and wave a flag. And you get free Budweiser beer for the rest of your entire life. I would still say fuck you.
Oh, that's where me and you differ, Breaker. I'm trying to get drunk as quickly as possible.
No, I'm trying to get drunk, but with real fucking beer that's not watered down shit.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I again, I don't believe that you can get drunk off of Bud Light. I think that you would have to drink so many of them that I don't think it's actually
I've
feasible.
tried. I have to get like the Bud Platinum After Dark. It's like 6% ABV. It's basically fucking malt liquor, and I have to drink a shit ton of those fucking tall boys to even get me fucking tipsy. So yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, I see. My go-to beer is Sour Monkey. It's by the Victory Brewing Company, and it's a sour ale, and it's a 9.5% ABV. So
Yeah.
you can actually get drunk on that. That's called a beer, right?
I only ever drink craft beers too. Like I drink like mostly Samuel Adams and Belgian ales.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll get the Victory Golden Monkey because I don't like sour things, unlike you. I prefer if I drink Monkey, I'll drink the Golden Monkey. So
There
yeah,
are times
I like
when
high octane beer.
when I try and get really white trash, but with like a gold chain, and I'll get a Bud Light Platinum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think
Yeah, Bud Light Platinum is the chosen beer of like New Jersey Guidos. It's a yep, and they hang out on the Jersey Shore and they spray like 7 different kinds of Axe body spray all over themselves. They have 3 gold chains. Like, yeah, Bud Light Platinum is made for those people.
Well, this is what you do, right? You get drunk on the Bud Platinum, and then when you want to sober up at the end of the night, then you drink Bud Light because that sobers you up. That's how little
Practically
alcohol it has.
fucking
Isn't it?
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's practically fucking water.
Exactly. Okay, next thing. Okay, this is just the FBI, and he has a stick, and he's going, "Please do terrorism," and the dude says no.
Of course. But let this be a lesson to all of you. It's like this is basically like all of this fucking insane fucking woke shit. I guarantee you at some level, not 100% of the time, but somehow tangentially, there's a Fed involved with some of this shit. And they're trying to get you to do shit.
People underestimate how many times a narcissist can convince an autistic person to do some really dumb shit.
That's probably true.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Technically, if you want to get conspiratorial about it, that's kind of how the Uvalde shooting happened.
Okay, well, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Don't touch that with that stick that says "Please do terrorism."
That's right.
With a Bud Light can.
Here's the back to the Bud Light thing. Hey guys, I think I found the problem. The CEO of Budweiser is a CIA operative. No, really. And apparently the CEO, Brendan Whitworth, he previously worked for the CIA in the Counterterrorism Center between the years of 2001 and 2006. So, yeah.
Oh, those wonderful years. I remember those. I was alive during that time. I remember those wonderful fucking years of American history. Yeah, fuck this guy.
What? No, come on.
Terrorists hate freedom. I'm George Bush. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Bro, come on. 2001 to 2006, that was like the golden age of America. We got the Patriot Act passed. We got into 2 wars.
Who was likely calling the shots, George Bush or Dick Cheney? Because George Bush seemed dead as a fucking doornail, or dumb as a doornail.
George Bush was a conniving Machiavellian fucker. That was all a fucking PR act to convince you he was a dumb little fucking monkey, so that you wouldn't realize what a fucking monstrous piece of shit he was. His fucking father ate people alive. His father was a cannibal.
I haven't heard that story.
It's news to me, but I don't doubt it. I mean, I'd have to research it, I guess.
If you look up George Bush Sr. He was actually marooned on a fucking island. Like the classic fucking scenario of marooned on a desert island really happened. And he was the only survivor recovered from that incident.
No.
They never found the remains. of the other
Right.
people.
More important question. Are you saying you wouldn't do the same in the same circumstance?
Well, the thing that makes it weird is that he was only marooned there for like 36 hours. Like he didn't have to resort to eating his friends.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait. You don't understand how hungry I get.
It's a
Well,
day
if
and a
you look
half,
at
man.
If you look at George Bush Sr., he was always like a fucking walking skeleton, so it's kind of understandable.
Okay.
A
Next.
1,000 points of light, stay the course, and be sure to put some ice in my water.
Okay, here we have the next meme. So the German ball is looking at the Polish ball, and it goes,
Uh-oh.
time machine is go back into past for to make fix of mine terrible mistakes. And then he presses the button.
God.
Bzz. And oh no, there's no more Poland. And Germany's colors are a little bit different. I wonder I wonder what happened there. Huh.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this implying that the actual mistake was
No, certainly not. I wouldn't be implying that.
wow,
That they lost.
Yeah.
We'll not go with that.
Here we have a tweet from the New York Times. England's women's soccer team has been successful in recent years, but the team doesn't look like the country it represents. Its players are almost all white, and it has a long way to go to improve diversity. Yeah. What the hell? What the hell?
And they're also all like,
Inclusion to me, it looks like they're being cultural. They're representing their culture, if you ask me.
No.
Well-
we all know that England is a Muslim nation, okay? Where are the Pakistanis?
well, not only that, like as far as diversity goes, like, I'm looking around. It's like, far be it from me to assume anyone's gender, but I don't really notice any transgender diversity going on here.
Oh, yeah, that is...
You know what's
Yeah,
weird? So, like, I do a lot of study of facial features, and I see at least 3 women with some very strong jawlines in that photo. And I just think that's a
Yeah.
correlation.
Like,
Well-
third from the left is kind of sus.
Potentially. Oh, I do think that, like, if you're gonna be, like, in the top, like, 2% of like, I guess, women that are athletic, you probably have a bit more testosterone than the average woman, right? If you're this
Absolutely.
high up in the...
Yeah.
If you're
that
playing
could
professionally.
explain-
Yeah.
Yeah, that could explain everything. Yeah. Well, that just proves my point. There's not enough diversity here. We need more diversity.
there you go.
In there, while we're at it, if we want to really be diverse.
Yeah.
Next meme. So this is from I guess a Japanese guy. You can tell by the flag that he has. And Asian people, man, they're the most racist to other Asians. So the Japanese guy goes, "How tell difference between average Korean and disgusting pig? You can't. Ha 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 ha. Fuck you, Korean."
Wait a minute. I think you read that incorrectly. It's like, how tell difference between the average Korean and the disgusting piguru? You can't. Fuck you, Korean.
Yes.
Well,
that
how
is-
do we know this wasn't like an AI bot that accidentally made a spelling error?
That's interesting.
It could be.
Well, there is.
But like a grammar error with how they wrote the sentence.
There's no apostrophe in the word can't, so that is kind of suspect.
Look at that. Okay, next meme. This guy goes, I just paid $20 for eggs and bacon at the grocery store. Biden goes, I'm taking away your gas stove. Hey, look at that. We have really good leadership here in America.
I'm gonna
I
throw a
did-
strong
I-
opinion out there. I don't even understand why we do gas stoves anymore. Personal opinion. What is wrong with electric stoves? I know that's a controversial statement.
Okay.
But that's the way I feel.
All right, here's the thing, right? I've had both gas stoves and electric stoves. Right now I have an electric stove. But I used to have a gas stove, and I miss my gas stove. Like, they both produce heat, both can boil water, but I feel like you get it's easier to cook a steak over a flame than over an like electric coil.
I don't get it, man. There's a lot of people out there that say the gas cooks it better. Like somehow the gas is affecting the taste of the steak. Like literally, like the way they talk about it. Some of the chefs, it's like, the gas isn't like supposed to touch the steak. I don't know how you're cooking it, but like,
Wait
it's
a minute.
it's just heat.
No, it's
transferring.
There's a difference.
But it's how the heat.
Wait a minute.
It's how the heat
Yeah.
transfers.
There's a quantitative difference in the heat dispersion because, okay, in gas, you have an open flame that is much more quickly dispersing heat than an electronic coil. Now, let's say that you preheat your stove to where it's like you don't even put the pan on the coil until you see it is red and fully heated. Like, even in that scenario, there's going to be a slight quantitative difference in the amount of heat dispersed from an open flame versus a heated induction coil.
Easier
And
to
that's
build
so
home
bit of
and
difference.
install gas. If you just relied on electric, it's one less element to worry about when you're building a home.
That is true. It is. There's a lot
Well,
of efficiencies.
It does make your insurance a bit cheaper, I think, and it also is like, well, gas stoves, you could make the argument also that if you let the pilot light go out and shit, it's like you could like
Exactly.
end up with your house full of gas, and then if you strike up a cigarette or something, it blows up.
Your house will never explode with an electric stove. There is that possibility with a gas one.
Well, that is a possibility. I would have to admit that. So
Yep. I guess strengths and weaknesses, and I guess that's why they both exist because they have strengths and weaknesses. Next meme. This one goes: the combination of the colors red and yellow make people hungry. So here we have Burger King, McDonald's, communism, and Pizza Hut. Except I think one of these is making people hungry, but like in a different way.
I feel like the Soviet Union should sue McDonald's for a copyright violation. It looks like McDonald's ripped off their logo.
I agree.
well, at least insofar as the colors go, it's like, well, I would actually make the argument that
Golden Arch. Look at that golden arch. It's a complete ripoff.
Yep. Yes, it is.
well,
What the fuck?
there's
McDonald's?
actually two of these that like one of them is like making me hungry and keeping me perpetually hungry until I die, and the other one is making me hungry at first, then making me wish I didn't eat this, and then throwing up a couple hours afterward. And it's like I'll let the audience decide on which one of those other it is.
I will say here, this is my ranking of how bad each one of these is. I would say that the best one is McDonald's, then Burger King,
God.
then communism, and then Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's the fucking worst. Jesus Christ,
Oh,
they have the
God.
worst pizza. It's a fact. Okay, continue.
No one has Pizza Hut.
Real quick, there's people that troll for sports. So, like, how quickly do you think if somebody focused to say that, like, Burger King was not inclusive because it was called King instead of Queen or something,
Oh,
and
God.
to actually get a change made?
Hey, stop using this gendered language. How dare you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the only one using gendered language is Burger King. So, well, I'm sorry, Burger King, but you're not inclusive enough for the 21st century, so you got to change it.
Yes. Okay. Next meme. White upper middle class Antifa kids after punching a 70-year-old man in a MAGA hat at the grocery store. I fought the Nazis. Hey, nice going, man. Nice going.
It looks so much like Markiplier. It's kind of disturbing.
The same thing. What are you going to play, a quick game afterwards?
Yeah, he's gonna play a video game about World War II and he's gonna fight more Nazis.
Nice. Here we have a I guess like a circular flow chart. Stop being so neurotic. Don't be such a schizo. Stop being so shy. Just be yourself. Stop being neurotic. Don't be such a schizo. Yeah, it's a loop.
I can relate to this. I'm stuck in an endless loop all the fucking time.
Next meme. The dog says, "I'm sad. Tell me a joke." And the dog goes, "Okay, knock it. Bark, 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 bark." Because they're dogs.
Stupid fucking dogs.
And whenever there's a knock, they have to go bark, 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 bark.
Oh,
of course
yeah.
they did.
Damn, I'm a little slow with that one.
Ian is the only one that didn't fucking get it. It's like, God damn it, Ian.
No, I barked a little while my mic was muted.
You do that.
Here we have capitalism in Times Square, and they're upset. But Bobby and Hank are very upset with this. And then also capitalism, but it's Japanese. Oh wow, they're so amazed at all of the bright neon lights. How amazing!
Wait a minute. There doesn't seem to be much of a quantifiable difference when you think about it.
No, but one is Japanese, so it's like it's so much better for some reason. Yeah.
There's another meme like this that's like a Wojak meme. It's like one of the Soy Jacks, where it's like Soy Jack is looking at, and it just says place. And it's this crude drawing of like a mountain scenic landscape. And the Soy Jack is kind of ambivalent about it. And then at the bottom, it says place Japan. And then the Soy Jack puts up his hands and does the soygram.
Yeah. For some
I
reason.
think where this missed the mark was it should not have been a white cartoon. It should have been any other race but white for this cartoon.
Yeah, maybe
Especially
like
like
an anime.
white Texan conservatives that are very well canonically established as George W. Bush voters. Like Hank Hill voted for Bush both times. This is canonical in the King of the Hill canon.
Wait, did he really?
Hank Hill was a George Bush supporter, and he voted for him both times. Yes, that is canonical in the actual show.
I didn't know that, but you know a lot more about the King of the Hill
Texans. They're white Texan Republican conservatives living in the suburbs. Like, who do you think they're going to vote for? Fucking Hillary Clinton.
True.
Sometimes when I ask a question and Breaker answers it, I'm like, this is my hope for human race because I know AI would not know that answer, but Breaker somehow did.
Well, except for the fact that part of the lore of the channel is that Breaker is actually an AI. So I don't know.
God,
Aw,
please
snap.
don't tell me.
And
Kill
also,
me.
this is like an extra layer of irony because the last people to be angry about capitalism would be the Hank family. So this is like triple layer of irony deep. This is like a very
Right.
profound meme.
Okay. Here we have
Pine tanks.
Here we have a YouTube video, and this congressman, he asks, what percentage of our atmosphere is CO2? And so I guess that this is the transportation committee, and they're having a hearing, and this panel, I guess they really want to fight climate change, you know, because they're environmentalists, and they know how important the Earth is and all that stuff. So, and then this congressman, he asks them a question: how much CO2 is there in our atmosphere?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Panelists, let me just go right down the line real fast. What percent of our atmosphere is CO2? Take your best. It doesn't have to be accurate. All down the line.
Repeat that question.
What percent of our atmosphere is CO2, carbon dioxide? Wild guess. It's okay.
I'll bite 5%.
5?
I'll just follow you then.
We'll go 7. That's my favorite number.
I'll see their 5 and suggest that we know that transportation causes 49% of CO2, so that's why we're all working on energy transition.
All right. So what number do you think it is?
5.
5? How about you? I didn't hear you, Mr. Dreyer.
7.
7. Did you have one, Mr. Boyd?
So we got a 5, 7,
This Price is Right.
8. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the high end.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and I don't mean to put you on ice. I ask a lot of people that because all we hear is climate change, CO2, CO2. I heard a couple of you on the panel saying you're looking to change your vehicles to electric, even though we don't have the electric grid. And me as a farmer, I wouldn't be real happy about running out and replacing $300,000, $500,000, $1 million pieces of equipment because someone wants it to be electric. The answer is 0.04%. Not 1%, not 0.5%. It's 0.04%, and it's gone up from 0.03 over the last couple decades. This is what we're being all contorted into doing, is this tiny change in CO2. If we get below 0.02, plant life starts dying off. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to play that, and it just shows that.
Go ahead.
It shows that the environmentalists who really, really care about carbon dioxide, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
This
is
thing
actually
Go ahead.
fucking international audience. Like they literally, he just asked them like a question on fact. Like, okay, he just asked them how much CO2 is in the atmosphere, and they literally just started playing the fucking Price is Right, and they just went with the joke because they deep inside they know it's a joke anyway, and they're just fucking with you. So they just like went along with the joke, no questions asked. Like, I'm gonna do the high end, I'm gonna do 8. I'll make sure you don't go over. It's like technically they all went over and they all lost by Price is Right rules.
General, can you go back to the moment when they started answering the? It's not that far back. It was like he asked them and they said 5%, 7%.
Right.
It was not that. Man, I wish I saw the time code so I could have quoted it for you.
That's my favorite number.
I'll see their 5 and suggest that we know that transportation costs.
Is around that time?
That's good enough. My point is, in the past, all you had to go by was a court transcript, right? And what was left out of context was that these people are laughing while they're giving their answers, right? Like, there's so much context that's added when you have a video camera in a courtroom and it's showing people's facial features and their expressions. And it's like, it's basically like they're answering like they were taught in law school, right? Like, answer the question. But these guys are such fucking robots. They don't realize now, because the schools don't teach us, you're being videotaped. And your facial reaction is communicating a different message than what you're actually saying, right? Like, you know you don't believe what you're saying, and that's why you're laughing. Instead of just going, I don't know, you're laughing and you're answering, and I don't know. I just wish there was more. Man, I wish there was more cameras in courtrooms. I can't stand these motherfuckers.
Well, to
Like
be
the
fair,
only person
this is
here, like
hold on. This isn't it's not a courtroom. It's like a congressional hearing or whatever.
It's in
that's
a
like that's even higher than a courtroom. That's
mean,
like
exactly.
higher than a regular courtroom.
And that's my point. Like, normally in the past, all you would have to go by is black and white text on a document. And even back then, you wouldn't be able to like hit Control F and search through the document for certain parts. You'd have to read the whole. It was impossible to follow, basically. Nowadays, you can not only see these people's reactions, you can quickly look at the transcribe I've worked for clients, man, where I'll upload their court hearing to YouTube and let YouTube automatically transcribe it because YouTube does a better job than the court reporter. And you can instantly, I'm serious. It's like, why are we paying the court reporters, a couple of grand, 500, a couple grand when there's AI technology? I don't know. There's a big reform that needs to be done for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say too is like, okay, if you look at this scene right here, this is the perfect freeze frame of this. Like, there's 3 people in here that actually know what's up. Like all the people in the front row that are actually giving the testimony, they're like all got big Cheshire cat shit-eating grins on their faces.
Yep.
Like the guy on the left is like, we're totally fucking these people over, and I'm enjoying every second. Like bald guy, Dr. Evil on the left over there is like, fuck you. Now you go back one level, and the people like immediately behind them, like you see like half of them are smiling, but it's like an uncomfortable, it's like, ooh, cringy smile where it's like you're trying to like artificially produce the affect. And then you go back one layer more. It's like you got that guy on the right over there, the third one back on the right, and he's just got like the super nervous smile. It's like, oh, this is kind of like a really.
I mean,
shitty
this
question.
is
Like
this is a
Even
freeze
that
frame.
alone. Good. Yeah, it is a freeze frame. They might laugh more if you go ahead. They might laugh less, like all that. But even then, like just having this context of a video, you can quickly see like the people that are genuinely laughing, the people that are laughing because they're following the crowd. All of this is data that the average person did not have before with court records, and that should be fucking mandatory now. But you're like, this guy is just laughing because everyone else is. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. None of that context was there before. There's
you're
so
right.
much data and context being provided in this video. It's like, why isn't there a camera in every courtroom at this point?
Potentially there should be, because there's a lot of context yeah, you're right, that ends up going missing if you just write things down. I guess
I'm gonna say, like the black lady in the far left, She is just like checked out of this. She just gives zero shit.
Twitter,
She's texting on her fucking phone. She doesn't give a shit. And the two ladies to the right of her, like beige shirt and blue shirt, like blue shirt in the main back, is just like,
all right, Breaker.
fuck
Okay,
this. I don't
okay,
even
yes,
care.
you're
Beige
analyzing.
shirt is kind of trying.
You're analyzing all the people in the room. I get it. But to
motherfucker,
to bring
like,
this
this is
back,
like a very in-depth show. It's like this fucking show.
Okay, yeah, but if
analytics.
Look, if I switch to like another frame, look, you can look here. Let's switch to this frame. Yeah, you could get a completely different fucking perspective on what's happening.
We get the context of what they were talking about before you froze the frame. I didn't forget the context. They were starting to answer their percentages of what they thought it was. By the way, just a show improvement suggestion in general is like, I know you're on a time schedule. You want to keep these at an hour or something. Maybe you could include a timer in the bottom right, because I can see how many memes you potentially have left lined up, and I would shut the hell up if I knew how long we had been running for.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah,
just a user experience feedback.
Yeah, sure.
Most of these are going to be just like fucking glib jokes, like, that is a thing. I don't know what that could possibly mean, but moving on. Most of the jokes are going to be that. It's like, like, even this frame,
if we need to shut up, just wiggle your mouse real fast or click the next one.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Even on this frame,
okay.
It's the same emotional content.
Well, Breaker is a few drinks in, and usually he's not. So.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
Don't you fucking tell me, you Irish stepson motherfucker.
Okay, but I do just want to say this about CO2. The left, they tend to just they can only focus on CO2. I'm kind of an environmentalist myself. You know, I recycle. I don't know how much recycling actually does, but you know, I recycle. Like, I don't want a whole bunch of pollutants in our rivers. You know, I don't want to see trees, chopped down, unless it's specifically for like lumber farming. You know, I want to preserve the forests, all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, the left is just hyper focused on CO2 when
you want me to explain that?
Oh, hold on. When I believe that actually CO2 is probably one of the least important pollutants that we could possibly be worried about. In fact, you know, there's this thing where if you increase the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, there's actually there's a negative feedback loop where plants don't have to open their stomata as much, which means that they can more efficiently gather CO2 without losing water. That means that plants are more able to grow in arid conditions. That means that you can actually have forests pop up where there were previously deserts, and then all of that new plant growth absorbs the CO2 anyway. So.
But if you make life too easy for the plants, right? Like, they're not like actually working very hard, they'll start dyeing their leaves blue and robbing CVS's.
Oh shit. I didn't think about that. That is a good point.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You want me to explain the CO2 thing? It's actually stupidly simple. It's like, consider this, okay? Like, you, General Chief, and like, I would agree with you. I'm more concerned about, and I think if these environmentalists actually cared about the environment, and they actually, even on the like political analytical side of this, I could say to them, okay, CO2 is like this vague nebulous gas that most normies, it's an invisible gas. So most people are going to hear CO2 and they're going to look around, it's like, where's the CO2? I don't know. And they're not going to give a shit. Now, if you actually talked about pollutions, like, hey, oil slicks, plastic bottles in the oceans, if you focused much more on pollution, it would probably motivate a lot more people to reduce, reuse, recycle. I remember from the 90s, Captain Planet. I remember reduce, reuse, recycle. I remember fucking Ninja Turtles. The reason why they don't focus on pollution nowadays, it's actually very simple. Because they're going to focus on CO2, which is this vague, invisible, nebulous gas that they could insert any intention and rhetoric into to say whatever they fucking want, as long as it has the fucking cathedral seal of the experts on it. If instead they mentioned pollution, things that you can see and empirically observe as a human with a naked eye, there would be endless photographs and stream videos uploaded on a regular basis and reposted at them on social media of third world countries filled with brown and black people doing it much more often and in much higher levels.
That would be extremely
why-
bad. I agree.
That's why they don't do pollution and they do this vague nebulous thing that you have to trust the experts to even know is there in the fucking first place.
Okay.
I'm on
All
this. I can't wait till the politics start making men feel guilty for how much they're polluting every time they masturbate in the shower.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I don't know who the fuck masturbates in the shower though. Like honestly, it's uncomfortable. I'd rather masturbate like I don't know, like sitting down or laying down. Personally, that's just me. Maybe I'm a fucking degenerate. But here's another meme. It's a picture, and look, it's this nice white couple, and the dog is looking at the husband, and look, they have a nice, beautiful brown baby, and the dog goes, "You need to start asking questions, Dave, because."
Wait a minute. We need some context here, okay?
Oh, give the context.
Now, I want you to zoom in on the father. Zoom in on the father's face.
Okay.
Now, I want you to look very carefully and think. I know you're a biologist, General Chief. I want you to think about this very carefully. Now, I don't know what you see. I think Ian already sees what I'm talking about. But I see like a guy that is obviously of mixed race ancestry. Now, he
what?
specifically
He looks like a white dude.
gotten. Look at the nose.
No,
Look at the nose.
I'm not seeing this, Breaker. It just looks like a white dude to me.
Okay, obviously this guy is mixed race ancestry. Like one of his parents was probably black.
What?
Okay.
All right, I
So-
think we need to Photoshop color eye drop tool and compare the dog's fur color to the baby. It's possible it was the dog that did it too.
Oh my god, it was the dog.
Oh no!
It was
Wait
the dog.
a minute. Like, zoom in on the woman. Zoom in on the woman.
That's a white woman.
Okay.
We know that white
Wait a
women
minute, no,
love
wait
fucking
a-
dogs.
wait
It
a
was the
minute.
dog.
Wait a minute. Look at her facial features. Okay.
She looks like a white woman.
Nope, it's not a white woman. She is clearly of mixed race ancestry as well.
Okay, all right. Next meme.
So, like, she's not white, so she's gonna fucking up.
Today.
This is just. Calm down, sir. Of course, we've sent your taxes to Israel this month. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it. We sent all your taxes.
Jews
It's-
trying to spin my Drano guy.
Everything is okay.
That's like
Remain calm.
that's like
All your taxes
perfect-
went to Israel as they're supposed to. Don't worry.
that's like the perfect image of like the archetypal boomer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
That's
next
like
meme.
Wilford Brimley.
So this is a dude, and on September 2nd, 2020, the guy goes, "This is crazy. Phase 3 trials cannot possibly be completed by October. I will wear a mask and stay indoors rather than be a guinea pig for an untested vaccine. The CDC has been corrupted by Trump." Because at this point, Trump was still in office. And then
Next tweet.
And then, I guess this is November 16th, 2021. Biden is now in office. For the rest of my life, I will never understand how millions of people were conned into not taking a safe, effective, and free vaccine to combat a deadly disease.
Thank God the internet allows everybody's personal diary to be made public so we can all understand how delusional everyone is.
Yeah, if they're stupid enough to actually post it publicly, yeah, which, a lot of these vainglorious narcissists are more than dumb enough to do for the social validation alone.
I don't blame someone if they make a mistake. I really don't. It's when they get called out and then they they fucking dig themselves deeper that drives me nuts.
Okay, this is not a fucking mistake. Like, this guy is like a verified account back before Elon Musk took it over. So,
he paid. I know, I'm kidding.
like, okay, yeah, this is like clearly fucking like blatant ideological fucking bias going on here.
Well, because
Now,
look, the truth doesn't matter. Principles don't matter. It's that he's staying up to date with whatever the mob is saying that particular week, right? Because I remember.
yeah, exactly. Now, wait a minute.
Another.
This is perfectly in keeping with your axiological principles, General Chief, because this guy's emotional state when Trump was in office was radically different than his emotional state when he got the candidate that he preferred ideologically. So this is perfectly in keeping with axiology. This is nature God working. You should be happy about this.
A really interesting story that I feel like they could even like make a movie out of or something. But like, personal family member during COVID was like, it's not real, it's not real. And then as time went on, you realize like, oh, this family member is saying that because he wants grandma or the mom to get sick and die because he was on the inheritance. So he would always, every time he was sick, he'd be like, why aren't you coming to the Christmas party? He would like put all this peer pressure on her, and he's like, oh, your grandkids are here, and like make her feel really shitty, right? And he's like, COVID isn't real, COVID isn't real, COVID isn't real. Finally, our grandmother stopped giving money to him because he was making her feel so much like shit. And then all of a sudden, like literally like 4 years now, what are we, 3 or 4 years later after the initial like launch of COVID?
Mm-hmm. The launch.
He's
I
don't know, whatever.
I like your words there. The launch.
I don't know.
DLC. We got more DLC for COVID than we got for Fallout 76.
Right. So 4 years later, he's going, oh, I'm too sick to work. I think I got COVID. Like, she was giving him money that whole time and nobody knew about it, right? Like, she was giving him $1,000 here and there. And then he's like, now she cut him off and he's like, oh, I think I got COVID. And everyone's like, weren't you saying COVID was like not real? And now you're, I don't know, just a lot of con artists out there.
No, I mean, I think that this is what you're, I think most people are NPCs. And this is what NPCs do. They don't consider things. They don't think about things. They don't have principles. They just go along with whatever benefits them or whatever makes them up to date with the mob. I think that this is the entire ideology of the left. It doesn't have principles. It's way out there in like platonic space. They don't have it. They're not in touch with the reality. They're just kind of floating, and they're like, oh, this week, COVID is good. Oh no, this week, oh it's bad. I remember I used to at one of my former jobs. There's this dude who worked there, and he was like very lefty, super Democrat voter. And I go up to him, and I'm like, and this is before COVID hit America, when it was still just in China. And I go up to him, I'm like, hey, like this pandemic that's in China, I think it's going to be a big deal. And he goes to me, and he says, nah, it's probably bullshit. I don't believe in that. And then like a few months later, it hits America, and I go, hey. This COVID thing, what do you think about it? He goes, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. And his position completely flipped. And there's no consistency with the left. They don't stand on principles, but, what do you call that?
Flip-flopping. Like, well, it's the best way I can do it, and me and Breaker, I feel like have a connection on this. We've dealt with it to some degree, but like, I feel like most people aren't aware of how deep the rabbit hole is of the walls somebody's mind will create when they are protecting their own ego or anything like that, even if it's not their ego, but like when a piece of information is given to them and it just goes against everything they ever knew before, they block it. And it's the only way to like protect themselves. The brain is an organ, and it does. I don't know. If you look at it that way, at least for me too, it actually allows me to forgive or have more compassion for people that otherwise I would just be like, you're a shitty person and I fucking hate you. At least it lets me go like, I think you're trying to protect yourself, and I'm not that mad at you. But like, I'm mad because you're trying to, I don't know, just stay away from me.
Well, the thing about it is, like, this is not like a new or novel thing in human behavior by a long shot. Technically, humans have always kind of been like, if you go by the 80-20 split, the Pareto conformity of like most complex systems that contain like codified information will conform to this. Like 80% of all people ever throughout all of humanity's history have been like listen and believe, like structure and order. It's like, I want to believe the thing that is regular, structured, and ordered. This has always been the case with all humans ever. The difference is nowadays with social media, you get to see and potentially interact with those people. It's like, it's not them that are abnormal. Like, if anything, you, me, and General Chief are like the anomalous people in this fucking soup of humanity.
You know, it's actually it's interesting that you cite the Pareto principle of 80 versus 20, because I think, if this is correct, I heard it somewhere. I haven't actually looked up the data myself, but about 15% of the people never got the vaccine. About 15%. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
I didn't realize the number was that low.
yeah, and about 85% of people took at least the first jab. So that's
Well, look at the whole history of humanity. Just look at like the history of like religion. In religious history, it's like in any religion or any culture you go to, you'll see this. You'll see it's like 80% acolytes, roughly 15 to 10% priests, and then the rest are theologians, and then you've got the one guy that's the head of the religious organization, whatever form it takes. That's always been the fucking case throughout all of humanity's history.
I'll tell you a weird story real quick. So before COVID even got announced, I was out in Vegas and I got deathly ill way before COVID was even announced, right? And I remember like being on some of these Facebook groups amongst people, and they're like, what is this flu going around? There's a bunch of people talking, right? And after they announced COVID and what it was, everyone was like, yeah, COVID broke out at this date. And I actually think it was earlier than a lot of people reported.
yeah.
And a big part of that where people were like, how do you know? And I'm like, dude, everybody travels to Vegas from around the world. Of course we're going to get hit with it before anyone else. Like, I'll never forget, man. I was at my place and like, I was just like, holy shit, man. Like, I can't breathe. I've never coughed like this before. Like, there was something in the air. Whether you want to say it's a conspiracy or not, even if you want to acknowledge whether COVID is real or not, I felt way sicker than I had ever felt before. And the other people around me were reporting the same thing.
Yeah, no, I've heard about this. There's a suspicion that actually COVID hit America like back in October or November of 2019. Like
No bullshit. So that's literally okay. Yeah, that's absolutely. You hit it on the head. I was like, I remember people were like, "Yo, why aren't you coming out?" And it was around Halloween, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm not, like, they thought I was trying to like hide from them or like I was doing something more fun. I'm like, dude, I have never felt this way before. I would come out if it was a small cold or something. I feel like I'm about to die right now. Like it hit me hard. And I don't think enough people talk about like viruses, like the viral load you get exposed to or something. When you're walking around Vegas with pure tourists, I guarantee you I got a higher viral load than the normal person might get just hanging around family members or whatever.
And of course all the hookers that you were with as well. That'll do it.
I don't judge you. Someone wants to fuck around with a hooker, but no, I'm not into that myself.
Well, I can tell you where I was when I first experienced this in 2019. I was in St. Louis, Missouri when I first came down with this. That's another famous American city and a tourist trap too. So, and I travel all over the country, but I was specifically in St. Louis, Missouri when I came down with that. So,
yeah. Well, you know, actually, also sort of related to this. So I took a trip to New York about a week ago. I didn't want to go, but my girlfriend demanded that we do a small trip to New York, so there I was. And we were walking around, and I noticed that about 20% of the people, maybe a little bit less, still had masks on. And I remember I was commenting to my girlfriend. I'm like, you know what? I think that for about 10 to 20% of the population, masks are just a forever thing. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. There's just going to be a percentage of the population, and they're just always going to wear masks. And when they have kids, they're going to mask up their kids. And when their kids have kids, they're going to mask up their kids. And it's going to be a certain percentage of the population that will always have masks on from now on.
Here's my spicy argument. I think it's a good thing. And Asia was masking long before America did. Mm-hmm. I was masking myself long before COVID even struck. I bought a bike mask on Amazon. I would just like wear it around. And it wasn't even because of the virus. It's because everybody is fucking filming a YouTube prank on their phone nowadays. And I'd rather just like be anonymous everywhere I go than I do think there's a certain percent of the percentage of the population that not enough talk about. They're like, you're wearing a mask? What are you scared of COVID? And it's like, no, I'm scared of fucking preteen YouTubers and humiliating me and getting me fired from my job.
Well, I guess
Paul here, you're with the cream pie prank.
Well,
right.
I mean, in China, they have like basically facial recognition cameras at every intersection, so they can track exactly where everyone is. If
and
that
that's how
ever
you
comes,
can tell Republicans, like literally, and that is how it is in Vegas, by the way. There's cameras everywhere. So the minute you go like, no, it literally, I feel like if you told this to like a far right or even not even far right, but you're like, I'm wearing it so the government can't facial track me, then they're like, yeah, brother, and they'll start wearing a mask too. Like it's all about how you spend the marketing on it.
well, you know what? If the government started rolling out facial recognition cameras all over the place, I would probably start wearing a mask as well. Yeah.
What do you do? It's not that hard. It's just if there's a camera anywhere, it's just a matter of how you process the data after that.
Okay, well, so in that case, there's a red pill reason for wearing a mask and a blue pill reason for wearing a mask. So hell yeah.
Right.
All right, next
There
meme.
you go.
This is just a press article. Trump screams N-word, poops and pees, and then rolls around in it while farting. Anonymous source claims. So just
The first real
It's like,
News
those
I've seen
fucking
in a long time.
sources say that Trump shit in the face of a baby and then laughed maniacally while puking into an old woman's mouth. It might as
Well,
well
I'm
just
glad they're finally covering the subject of them resurrecting Adolf Hitler and then wipe his poopy butt is what it says at the bottom.
yes. The rest of the article I did not read because actually it was a little bit offensive. Here's a post from 4chan. Of course, I would like to say that we're reviewing memes from Poll, okay, which is a board on 4chan, okay. None of these memes necessarily represent the political positions of anyone here, okay. We're just reviewing the shit that Poll has produced. We are not advocating for any of the things that Poll has produced, but this is a post from Poll.
But we do want you to shine lasers at homeless people for 5% off.
No! We don't endorse lasers! No, shut the fuck up! Do not use lasers outside of their recommended guidelines in the instruction manual! Shut the fuck up!
Remember to go to radlight.dev and type in promo code General Chief for 5% off of all of their products.
And any product you buy, adhere strictly to the user manual guidelines and all safety precautions.
Don't at least try not to light homeless people on fire with the lasers. So this post.
Do not light anyone or anything on fire. No.
This post says, I like to tell people that 30 million Jews died during the Holocaust. If anyone says, wait, what? I call them a Holocaust denier. If they say the numbers aren't believable, I tell them that they're anti-Semitic. I will also say the Jews were lined up on the ground and run over with a steamroller by the thousands. If people don't keep a straight face, I shriek at them about how insensitive they are and how much they hurt Jews. Basically, I'm a Holocaust accelerationist. I will push the story to the breaking point.
So wasn't the guy from Back to the Future, Christopher Lloyd, Jewish?
Yes.
Sure.
Christopher Lloyd was in Roger Rabbit, so this sounds like Roger Rabbit Part 2. Where, like, at the end, he gets rolled over by the steamroller.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, next meme.
He was also in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest where he was institutionalized, so...
Jack Nicholson.
There.
So,
Jack Nicholson.
Here we have a very happy cartoon, and the guy goes, "Hey, guys, I found a way out." Next meme.
We here at the Promethean Tides do not endorse any type of self-harm.
Okay, so this one is okay, so I guess Fox News is talking to this dude, and the guy on the left goes, "Move the camera to the right and away from the Mao picture because there's a Mao picture, and it's child porn art, and actually on the right there, that's I know that painting.
No.
The painting. I don't know that painting.
No.
It's a painting that like it depicts. It's like someone who was molested as a kid, and then they did art of it.
God.
So on the left side he has Mao, and on the right side you have that art, and Who
And
the fuck is this guy?
His facial expression changes dynamically. He just like, could you move away from the map picture? Oh yeah, sorry. And it's child porn. Oh fuck.
Who the fuck is this guy? Why does he have Mao and also that art? Like, what the fuck?
Apparently, he's like a former Tennessee representative.
Could be. I don't know the guy, but
Harold Ford Jr., I guess. So this is on Fox News. This is like mainstream news outlet.
So here we have a bunch of white people, and they're protesting Black Lives Matter. So that's like really important.
Yeah, very. We endorse Black Lives Matter.
And here you just have a black person.
California.
Here you just have a black person, just sitting in squalor, homeless.
Wait a minute.
And all the white people are just walking by them, chanting Black Lives Matter.
Wait a minute.
This is.
I would like to make it clear that black guy is not underprivileged. Those are a bunch of Amazon delivery boxes unfolded.
Oh.
He's having Amazon unlimited he has Prime account. He's having Amazon nonstop delivered to him.
Okay, he's actually doing very well for himself.
Well,
he just likes living outside. You know, it's California. It's good temperature.
From what I know about California, there are people in California, believe it or not, that have six-figure salaries that are technically homeless. Because the cost of living in California is so high that even people with a six-figure income can't afford the fucking houses.
There is a point, and I've even had this consideration every time I go out there. I'm like, dude, I could literally work from a laptop at Starbucks and fucking just shower off at the shower at Venice Beach and live on the beach. And I would have better property in a tent than the people paying millions of dollars. Like, you're almost kind of like incentivized to do it at a certain point.
Wait.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can just set up a tent on the beach?
In California.
Dude, that's beachfront property. I would do that shit.
Absolutely. Right. Like,
now,
not only is it property, here's the other thing. They literally have showers at the beach. Like, so you shower off. There's a lot of the places around there that'll give you free food because like they make too much of it, or like some of it, if they don't get rid of it, it'll go bad. Like, there's a lot of excess in the area, which is what also allows that sort of culture to thrive.
Or, you know what? If you're not into showers, you could actually just take a bath in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. So I don't know, man, like it's not a bad lifestyle for somebody in their 30s, but then I don't know, you get carried away and you find yourself 60 one day with saltwater ass and living on a cardboard box on the brick sidewalk, and the dream has overstayed its welcome.
Or that is the dream, actually, because Return to Monkey.
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
I will tell you one thing. You have to be careful about this, because the only time, well, the tent is kind of like advantageous for this, but occasionally if there's a politician or some type of news event or some type of movie being shot, which is not outside the realm of possibility in Los Angeles, someone with a very bad attitude, possibly armed, is going to very angrily ask you to move at some point. But that's what the tent is for. Like, make sure you keep the tent like ready to go, and make sure like all your belongings are movable. It's like this guy, I mean, if he was suddenly asked to move because Obama was coming to town or something, like he would have to pick up a lot of shit. Like
they did that during the Super Bowl out in LA. Like, suddenly all the homeless people were gone, and probably like a month after Super Bowl they were all back again, but they did this big extensive effort. I was going to say this. So like, part of things that like I think people who have never actually been in that lifestyle realize is the public transportation is so good in LA, in between the trains and the buses and stuff like that, that you really don't need a car or any. You'd be shocked at how well you can live with how little money.
You're welcome, everyone, for a little short course about how to be homeless successfully.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yay.
Oh my
so
God.
this just says, I love you, Che Guevara. I'm a communist, vegan, bisexual that fights for the working class. And then Che Guevara goes, execute this degenerate.
Yeah, strangely realistic, because if you look into the history of Che Guevara, he literally had like concentration camps filled with minorities and LGBTQ plus type people. So he was not a big fan of the person on the left. So this is the exact type of thing he would say and mean it.
Why
There's a
are you
certain
gay?
point. There's a certain point where you realize, like, there's people that are trolling people like this. They're literally, you know, giving them a narrative and they're running with it, and they don't even understand the history of the people they're supporting.
Also,
they-
Che Guevara committed crimes against women of the penetrative nature. I'm not going to specify, but I've said enough to appease the YouTube gods. Yeah, Che Guevara would commit crimes against women of the penetrative nature on his dinner table in front of other cabinet members of his, and then just like dismiss them after he was finished, then sit down, zip up his pants, and continue with like a meeting about politics. So,
Okay,
yeah, that's
but,
that person this was.
I want
but
to
did
say
he do this all the time, or was it only on Thanksgiving?
it was obviously
Well, you know,
obviously
it
only for
was like-
special occasions, you know, when they wanted to really
Well-
liven up the dinner party.
Yeah, it was basically whenever he felt like it, like much like Genghis Khan. So, I mean, when you're like a conquering warlord, I mean, you can get away with a lot of shit. So he was just taking full advantage of that.
Hey, good for him. Next meme. German court seeks to force COVID-19 vaccine on Holocaust survivor. Ooh, that's not a good look for Germany.
Well, you know, it's almost as though that it's almost as though that Germany is remembering and noticing.
Yes. Well, they, you know, the thing about the Germans is that they just can't help themselves.
Yeah, Germans are very astute and observant people, so they notice a lot of things.
How do we know this story isn't true and Jerusalem Post isn't just trying to find sponsorship from Laser website with 5% off?
Hey!
Subscribe today.
Be
Remember
sure
to
to
go to
like, share, and subscribe, or
Rem-
you hate Jews.
Remember to go to radlight.dev, promo code General
I
Chief
keep
for 5%
forgetting
off.
the name. I know the name now because the sponsorship is working.
Yeah. Also, remember to if you're enjoying the content and the spurginess, remember, and the autism, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and share to your great aunt on Facebook. Next meme.
Yeah, do all of those things, or you hate Jews.
School name change. So these are the nominations for the Robert E. Elementary name change. We have Drew Brees Elementary, Bruce Lee Elementary, John Cena Elementary School, Adolf
Wait a
Hitler
minute.
School for Friendship and Tolerance, and,
Wait a minute.
and Schoolie McSchoolface. So
Wait a minute.
these are all good names. I don't know which one to pick.
Did they like? Okay, wait a minute. Did they like put a fucking poll on 4chan to determine this? What the fuck?
Absolutely. Fox 7.
This is like definitely.
Where's Fox 7 based out of? I'm gonna Google it real quick. This is like, because I know it's like different Fox channels per state. 7 state. Let's see. Oh, it's Texas. Yep.
Of course.
Okay,
I especially like the fourth one. You know, the School for Friendship and Tolerance. That sounds really nice.
Okay, like the least offensive one, and the most associated with Texas, I think, is Drew Beers.
Drew Brees.
Like
Yeah,
Schoolie McSchoolface is obviously a fucking troll. I mean, I'm not even gonna mention the fourth one. John Cena is
Texas,
obviously
it's a total troll. I feel like Joe Rogan took over Fox 7 that night.
Like Joe Rogan's fucking audience is one more reason why Joe Rogan is clearly alt-right and he wants the death of America. You should not support Joe Rogan in any way, shape, or form. Fuck him.
I like how Joe Rogan says like smoke weed and do shrooms, and then like the number one reported thing for why people are entering psychosis is weed. By the way, General, I know you love your weed, but like that's what a lot of people are reporting is anxiety-induced weed. And then like the minute he's promoting it in California, he goes, "This place is fucking crazy," and he goes to Texas and goes, "Hey, why don't you guys allow everyone to do very potent weed and shrooms here? Like, I don't get it."
Okay, well, to be fair, so I know that marijuana can, for certain people, induce psychosis and actually lead to schizophrenia, but that's because they're not combining their weed with shrooms. If you do them together, then you're totally protected.
Oh, you know better. We
Yep.
don't know
That's
that.
science. That's science, bitch.
We do not endorse illegal or illicit substances on the public
That's
space.
true. That's true. We don't.
But if you
never-
are going to smoke your weed, make sure to light it with the Raycon laser.
Do not light inappropriate materials with fucking laser. If you get a
Next
laser,
meme.
read the instruction manual.
Speaking of which, inside you there are two wolves. One wolf has a hat that says, "Please be patient. You have schizophrenia." The other one says, "Please be patient. You have autism." And so he's just wearing a hat, and it says, "Please be patient. I have schizophrenia and autism." And it's a sad Pepe. Oh, so sad and
that's
tragic.
like
I'm still trying
that
to
is
figure
like-
out if I'm the frog in the middle or not.
Well,
No.
I might be able to help you with
You're-
that, but
we're recording this on Discord, so necessarily we're all the frog in the center. There's no escaping that.
well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Fuck it.
Next meme.
That's like a deadly combination.
Science is
Science is
oh,
real.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. That was spooky.
Black Lives Matter. No human is legal. Love is love. Or love is
Moments
love. Women's
before,
rights.
moments
kindness is
before the
everything.
psychotic break.
Eat the boogs.
Yeah, those are just it's just a nice little schizo post there.
TIA. Eat the
I like it.
boogs.
Next meme. Okay. I'm gonna be
Wait
honest.
a minute.
I tried to figure this meme out, and I don't understand it. I really don't, but I saw it, and, it's important. I'm just reporting what 4chan delivers, okay? I'm just an honest
No, it's
reporter.
it is interesting. Absolutely.
So
You're
have the-
definitely Martinists.
So you have
I think you need to have this guy as a guest on the show is what you need to do.
whoever made this.
You're
I completely
You're
agree.
the Martinist. You're the Martinist General
Okay,
Chief.
no,
If you
okay,
scroll
so-
down, you're the Martinist.
Okay, so this is like a political compass, except instead of like left, right, authoritarian, not authoritarian, you have anti-demiurge is up top. Of course, pro-demiurge is on the bottom.
The only
And then-
kind of person to make this kind of thing is very mad about something, whatever it is.
And then you have, on the left, you have the left-hand path, which is Dionysianism. And then on the right, you have the right-hand path, which is apo something. And so I don't I don't know what any of this means, but I don't know what any of this memes.
Yeah, this is basically like occultism. Like, if you don't know occultism, you won't understand this. But you're definitely the Martinist General Chief. Like, where your magnifying glass is right now, you're that.
So I guarantee that font they're using on the right is like a Jew. They typed in Jewish font on Google, and that's the font that popped up.
Yeah, it does look like
You are
Hebrew. but-
You are pro demiurge, General Chief. That means that nature god is the demiurge, and you should be ashamed.
Well, the left font looks like somebody typed in like Monster Energy, like Republican,
Mhm.
and then the top looks like they typed in like, I don't know, African or Indian font.
Okay, so
And what's the bottom, like English? Like there's layers to this that I don't even think most people understand.
yeah, I think the anti-demiurge looks more like primitive, like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like it's
It's like
primitivist.
an Indian, like an ancient, like I agree.
Okay, so Breaker, where am I on this bizarre political compass?
One that you have the magnifying glass over right now.
Oh, I'm a
Somebody went to the extent of even changing the fonts based on like they literally typed in the I want a Jewish font to illustrate my point.
So I guess actually the most based, I don't know what these words mean, but I'm gonna go with the top left is gonna be the most based. The Aeonic Futurists. Why bomb some building when you could bomb the entire universe?
That's it. I never even read it that close. So like when you're zooming in like that, it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, send me this
Bomb the
meme,
entire
General Chief.
universe. Right.
I've got to have this. I'm basically the ceiling.
There's a certain level of sickness that intrigues me about this meme.
I zoom in on Sealy. That's
Me
what I
too.
am. Zoom in on Sealy.
One sec. Where is that?
Sealy, like the guy with the
This
Jordy
is
visor.
modern day like classical art right here. That like whatever this guy is doing, like he's going through it, but
Right there.
I'm not saying he's wrong or he's crazy. I'm just saying like he's on an interesting wavelength.
Sunny D fetish hides EVA blueprints. Yeah, I'm definitely that.
Okay.
I fought over by what? Fight over. Go back in. Right. Fight over by Guanbo and CIA. Lads
Yeah, that's
face
freaking-
Britons.
That's the fucking Buddhists.
Constructs
That's
entire
fucking Kangs.
metaphysics
That's
to
the
justify
Buddhists and the
sex.
Kangs and the incels.
High functioning
yeah.
autism. Look, there we are on the chart. Go up. Go up. High functioning autism and mescaline is one hell of a combination. It's called your group.
Your group, yeah. Okay,
Sorry, look, he described us in one little square.
okay, so I still have no idea what the fuck this means, but I feel like it's important. So here is this political compass. Now, you know what? Fuck the regular political compass. It's not about left or right, authoritarian, anti-authoritarian. It's about the demiurge. Are you anti or pro demiurge? I don't know what the demiurge is, but it sounds important. All right, next meme. This guy goes one plus one.
Source.
This guy goes 1 + 1 = 2. Source. And then this guy goes 2 + 2 = 5. And then look at all his sources. Boom.
Whoa, that's how I feel like every time somebody sends me a Wikipedia link, man. I'm just like, stop it.
This is what I fucking told you before the show started. It's like that. Like, you can fucking the sources is just a fucking battle of like in sources you can source facts, but you cannot source rationality. So whatever rationality the guy on the bottom, the 2 + 2 = 5 guy is using to come to that conclusion, is clearly encapsulated in a couple of a PNG and 2 JPEG images, and a video that he has saw on BitChute of probably fucking
Yeah, but
black guy
there's a
claiming
deeper
about
level though, Breaker, and I want to say this. It's like the people that go like source like that, in my experience, because I've experimented it with it more than I'm even comfortable saying on this video right now. But like, a lot of times you're just trying to annoy and troll and hurt people, and the minute you tell those same people like, oh, I have this piece of information that this person doesn't want to get out, and you present it to them that way, they take it as truth. They're like, yeah, no, this guy's telling the truth. Like, look, he's exposing something, and it's like, you guys are really more easily manipulated than you realize.
It works for the right. If you do that with the left, they'll just be like, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist."
I mean, look, I'm inclined to believe the guy on the bottom because he's cited his sources, right? So clearly he's more correct. We all know that.
Yeah,
sources.
thanks a lot, rational empiricist, scientist, General Chief. Yeah, sources be damned. Like, fuck you.
No, sources, Breaker.
I hate that everyone has the image of the guy with the square glasses, and I'm getting older now. I wear the square glasses right now.
This is
and
you.
I feel yes, it's partly not quite, but like the glasses part is, and partly I feel like a lot of this meme derived from fucking Michael from Vsauce, where like he's citing all these facts all the time, and people are like, yeah, let's just make the guy that always sources facts like the guy with the square glasses.
I'm the soy jack on the top right. Like, I have to wear prescription glasses when driving, and I kind of have like a straggly face anyway. So I'm literally the fucking Soylent Grin Wojak.
No, me too. I have the scruff going on myself.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that clearly this is
ourselves.
This is clearly partially a racist meme.
Well, no, if somebody needs a police sketch of me, it's the guy in the top right. Like, so there you have it.
Okay, there you
Well,
go.
that's also me, so that'll throw them off the trail. Yeah.
See, I don't wear glasses, so I must be the one on the left.
Oh God.
Cool.
So you are a metaphysical empiricist,
5%
General
off.
Chief.
Well, I guess we're all soy Wojak. Nice. I'm so happy about this. Next meme.
Buy lasers.
This one just says, say the line, real communism hasn't been tried yet. And then he's crying. He's so sad. Oh no.
Assholes.
Okay, next meme.
They just don't understand communism.
Wait
a minute.
I don't
Wait a minute.
have any commentary about this. It's a graph that I found on 4chan. I don't know what it could possibly mean.
Wait a minute.
This talking about the crime rates?
No, it's talking about the population, like the total number of people.
Wait a minute. I understand this.
Yeah. Probably some truth to this.
Yeah, there is so many. There's so many things you would have to know about what this is saying to get this.
No,
but-
it's just a graph, bro. I don't think we should read into it too deeply.
Well, you see where like the black part of the graph, it's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, all I can say is like, do your own research, folks.
I wouldn't read into this whatsoever. It's definitely not talking about let's say the phrase that is WG, right? It's definitely not talking about the WG.
I noticed around like 1940 to like 1980 the Indian population grew, and I'm suspecting that might be partly to do with the fact that the casinos were starting to be legalized for the Indians.
Yeah.
Well, that also
it was pretty
goes
helpful
into like,
for
okay,
them.
okay, think about this. Like, look at 1960 is when you actually, 1950 is when you start to see like the data become more diverse. There's a subtle trick about this that has to do with like data aggregation regarding how the census is taken. Now, before like 1950, for example, you'll notice that there's that little teeny tiny sliver up there. This is around the time when they changed how they took the census in America, because it used to be that Native Americans, number one, Native Americans weren't taken in census data, believe it or not, because they were considered like quasi-autonomous nations. And also Hispanics, the group Hispanic on like the census data did not exist until the 1950s.
Okay, well,
so
even if
that's when you start to see it.
Even if they changed it during the 1950s, we have seen, let's say, an expansion of that group over time, where let's say the black bar remains about the same, but the gray bar, it seems on the bottom, it seems to be going down over time. Obviously, I don't want to get into this meme any further, but it's an interesting.
I'll wrap
graph.
on this. I think the bar graph represents like the vaccine as it's slowly being injected into the population. It just keeps increasing, like the plunger. Do you see it? It keeps getting more and more injected.
Yeah, that's another interpretation. Okay, next meme.
Paul Falk.
I'm 27 years old. I have $120,000 in debt from an undergraduate degree. I've been paying $970 a month for 5 years, and of the nearly $60K I've paid in that time, only $2K has gone towards my loan. I ask again, how the fuck was this ever legal?
Well, it's legal because you signed a fucking paper because you're a fucking dumbass, because you believe the boomer myth of like college is required for you to be a functioning citizen and to get your status point and brownie point as a functional fucking elite. That this is a you problem because you're a fucking idiot.
That they signed,
yeah,
but they signed this contract when they were like 17 or 18. I mean, and they basically have signed themselves over to slavery or indentured servitude for decades because they didn't know better.
I think the person really to blame is lynda.com for not contacting this guy and telling him he could achieve a cheaper education. And we need to go after lynda.com, and fuck you, lynda.com, for trying to reach out to this man.
What is lynda.com?
It's like one of those learning websites where you learn all this shit from, like, and it's linked to LinkedIn now. So like once you complete a course on lynda.com, it'll show up on your LinkedIn account as like, I studied this course and now I'm official, but like it only costs like, I don't know, like $10 or $20 a month to subscribe.
Oh, wow. I had no idea that we were also being sponsored by lynda.com. Hey everyone, go check out lynda.com.
By the way, yeah.
And type in promo code General Chief for 5% off your education.
No, wait a minute. Not an official sponsor. This is a joke. This is hyperbole.
Yes.
I will say though that
even YouTube at that point, dude, get a fucking YouTube subscription. I would say before go to college nowadays. Like really.
Yeah, you can learn everything in college on the
Okay.
internet.
This motherfucker, he's got 120K in debt. You know what would have been like better if he had gone to college? It would have been actually better for this guy to become a welder or a fucking plumber or an electrician, because he would have actually made 120K in this time instead of like owing it and with infinite fucking debt
Yeah,
cycles.
true. Okay, next
Oh, go ahead.
next meme. Okay, this is a blurry meme.
Wait a minute.
But this is on the left we have hunter-gatherer skull, male, and then on the right we have modern human skull, male. And all,
The guy on the right was eating too much pizza.
yep, and the guy on the left was chewing on sticks. That's why he has a much stronger jawline. He's just a better human. He has a larger skull. He's probably smarter. I mean, Breaker, when you look at this, does this not scream the domestication of the human species? You know, look at a wolf versus a dog, okay? The dog, it's become softer, neonatalistic. None of this is good, okay? We have to return to monkey. I am sick of being domesticated.
Well, unfortunately, I know enough about anthropology to say that these are two totally different populations of humanity that have little to nothing in common along those lines. So, and also, we do not endorse phrenology on the public space, so I can't say much more than that.
Ah,
I would also say we don't know what's really going on inside the skull, the brain matter of these two individuals, by the way.
well, they're skulls, so actually they don't have brain matter anymore.
They were there.
Look, all I'm saying is burn down civilization, return to monkey. It's a pretty reasonable ask, okay? It's not that radical. Burn down civilization, return to monkey, very simple, okay? I'm not an extremist. Next meme. So this is so there's a meme and it goes
Much.
so it's not flat, and then the CIA astronaut goes, never has been. And then they're looking at the meme, and then the CIA astronaut goes, wait, are we the bad guys? And then the Terry Davis astronaut goes, always were.
Hey, glow in the dark, you gotta run over with your car.
So that's the entire meme. Next meme.
Real talk.
Oh, right. This is the segment where we get into some Elon Musk tweets. So this person says, on God, 8 years of 0% rates was bussin', but inflation is mid, so we need a hike, 75 BPS, no cap for real. And Elon Musk just says, real talk. So it's important.
I agree with this.
I agree.
Very real talk.
Again, this is Elon Musk posting this. Netflix waiting for the war to end to make a movie about a black Ukraine guy falling in love with a transgender Russian soldier.
Pretty
You know
much.
what?
He warped his stomach out a little more too with Photoshop.
Yeah, I could actually see this happening in real life. So, and I love how they like got the sag of the corpulent individual sitting in the middle of this swinging chair. It's like, I know, like, I'm a very corpulent person myself, so I can say this, like, I'm a massive fucking lard ass. And
No.
I know when I sit on these swinging chairs, it's like, I can use that term because I am actually a plus size person. So you can't say that, but I can.
Right.
When I sit down on these swinging chairs, I have this similar experience. So I like how this, like, subtly captured my lived experience and represented me.
Because every time you sit down in a swinging chair, you're existentially terrified that it will collapse on you.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a
Yes, I am.
near-death
I am.
experience, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Every time I sit down on wicker chairs or swinging furniture of any kind, it's an existential dread.
So I
I
do.
feel represented. I endorse this movie.
Yes, you're the transgender Russian soldier, obviously.
Obviously.
I do just want to point out that I got these collections of tweets from 4chan, so these could be edited. I don't know if Elon Musk actually posted these things. I'm just going to assume that he did, but this is from 4chan, so I have no idea. This is just raw journalism here, folks. Okay, next meme. Again, Elon Musk tweet. So this person says, just curious, what is your motivation to become politically active? Why make yourself a target? You are trying to get mankind to Mars and alert the public to the danger of AI. Why sabotage these worthwhile goals by wading into political controversy? Is it worth it? And Elon replies, unless it is stopped, the woke mind virus will destroy civilization and humanity will never reach Mars. Based.
Yeah, I actually agree with that statement.
Elon Musk also actually goes further in the next one. Elon Musk says, political attacks on me will escalate dramatically in coming months. Howard Foreman, I don't know why there's 3 parentheses around him.
Wait a minute.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this.
It's supposed to represent a giant gaping vagina hole.
Yeah, there you go. This guy says
He's just a feminist. I see. He's a feminist.
this Howard Foreman guy says, when you are explicitly political, you should expect people to treat you as such. Which part of that is confusing to you? Elon says, I'm not surprised at all. That was to inoculate the public. As a prominent vaccine advocate, you should understand that Yale is the epicenter of the woke mind virus attempting to destroy civilization. Elon Musk goes hard.
Wait a minute. There's something. There's something wrong with this. Okay, it's like okay. I'm seeing these like parentheses around the name. It's like, you know what? When I see that, I become very suspicious of this entire thing. It's almost as though that someone may or may not have right-clicked and altered this in inspect element to say these things.
No. Someone on 4chan would just go and do that? There's no way. That's
Someone on the
impossible.
internet would tell lies?
No.
Why would someone do that?
Well, also, I don't know why it is that, mathematically, there's no reason for all the extra parentheses. You only need one set. It doesn't, from a mathematical perspective.
Well,
At that point, though, they could have just easily like photoshopped the Howie
Happy
part.
Merchant.
Yeah, they could have moved it to the left a little more. Like I get what you're saying, but like no, if you're going to that point, like they weren't putting in the parentheses to fill in blank space.
You know what?
There's no way that a legitimate verified account that gets 17,000 likes has fucking parentheses around it. I dare you to look this person up on Twitter right now. This is a fucking troll.
Let's see.
I mean, maybe.
And Elon Musk tweets are liked by this person with the screen cap, but the person with the parentheses, the echoing person's name, he is not liked in this fucking thread. This is very suspicious. I don't trust this.
I will say this though. So I am not Jewish. I am half British and half Norwegian, and as I have said a number of times, I am.
It's real. I just looked it up. It is absolutely real.
He's a real dude, but not with the triple,
my God.
not with the triple parentheses, right?
No, he has the triple parentheses.
Oh God! Well, wait a minute.
Okay.
Is this fucking archive?
Wait,
is
do you
this
want
like
to?
Just Google his screen name. It'll pop right up.
No, send me the DM real quick. I
want to see this. I want to see this chain of causality happening in real time. I want like an archive of this. This is a fucking screen cap beforehand.
Oh, you want me to DM or put in general chat?
Whichever one. I can pick
All
up.
right, general chat. Here we go.
Oh God!
It's a real thing. Why does
It's real. It's real.
59.7 thousand followers. Triple parentheses. Okay, is this guy?
It's got to be a troll, right? It's got to be a troll.
Wait a minute. This is like so many dimensions of shit. It's like, okay, if this is a troll,
shit, that is true.
If this is a troll, this guy is like a fucking high-level meta-modernist fucking Joker. Like,
look at it. Look at this down. Dire Straits, yes. Money for nothing, yes. But avoid digging too deeply on this one.
Oh
this,
God.
This guy.
This guy goes down.
This guy's a legend. Okay.
This guy is so fucking self-aware that he's just fully embracing this. He gives zero fucks. He just like, yeah, fuck you too. This is like the most epic troll I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
Okay. Well, I guess that is a thing. Nice.
I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to fucking believe it. I could swear it was fucking Inspector Element shit.
Is that you will believe it. You will not continue to live in denial.
When I see fucking triple parentheses, I just assume it's a 4chan troll, but his name is really that on fucking... We showed it. This is on video.
As the certified Photoshop expert here, if I was going to troll someone, I wouldn't like fill in a blank like that. I would move the whole alignment of the text over.
Wait a minute. No, this is not Photoshop. This is like, okay, I wasn't talking about Photoshop. I was talking about you can right-click on tweets and do inspect element and make the actual data on the screen change to whatever you want.
Yeah, you could
Photoshop,
do that.
At that point, not just Photoshop it.
No, it's actually simpler to change the inspect element.
It's easier to do inspect element. You're a graphic designer, Ian. You're doing extra work where it's like much simpler to do this.
Maybe I've just been doing it for so long. I'm like, this would be like 2 seconds to fucking change, and for me,
for you it would be easier to do it the graphic design way, but for me, I would just inspect element. But
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but anyway,
next thing, the Independent opinion.
Russell Brand.
Opinion. How Russell Brand went from stand-up stardom to peddling YouTube conspiracy theories, and Elon Musk replies. With so many mainstream media companies saying Rusty Rockets is crazy, he's less dangerous, I watched some of his videos. Ironically, he seemed more balanced and insightful than those condemning him. The groupthink among major media companies is more troubling. There should be more dissent.
Again, I agree with it. Like, I don't agree with... Sometimes I get a weird vibe from Russell Brand where I'm like, but like, if I had to compare him to major media companies, I actually trust his opinion more.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, actually, no, okay, here's my position, right?
That's where I'm telling you, this is the feel. You just, in that little thing, you described what I feel. It's like, Russell Brand, I don't know, but like, I trust you more than media companies.
Well, okay, who's the, who's the famous guy who's always telling you, what you should invest in?
Not narrowing it down.
The guy on TV and like there's actually there's a strategy of doing the opposite of whatever he says. What's his name?
You're not narrowing it down.
The guy. He's always like screaming.
A few of them.
He's always talking about stocks. The guy. I forget his name.
The Mad Money guy.
Yeah, sure. What's his name?
I don't know. You're not narrowing it fucking down. Oh, you gotta fucking look this up.
We gotta verify.
We gotta look it up.
The stock guy. The stock guy. Jim Cramer. See, I found it. Jim fucking Cramer. Okay.
Jim fucking Cramer. Fucking.
Yeah. Okay.
This came up.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, that it came up first.
Right. Right. The stock guy, Jim Cramer. So, okay, so here's my position, right?
Bunker is losing it right now.
I think that you actually can trust CNN and MSNBC and these mainstream news places. You just have to Jim Cramer them, right? You listen to what they say and then you do the opposite, right? It's not that they're incorrect, it's that they're the opposite of right, and there is a difference. Like, actually, you can get a lot of meaningful data off of the thing that is the opposite of right? So you all, like, there are investment, there are, like, stock indexes that just do the opposite of whatever Jim Cramer says to do, and they make money, right? So, I'm just saying, actually, CNN is like the Jim Cramer of facts and politics and stuff. Just do the opposite of whatever it says, and that's probably the right thing.
Well, here's the thing about
that's where insider trading becomes so tricky. Like, there are stock portfolios that will put misinformation out there, but they'll make it, they'll design it in such a way that it appeals to a certain crowd because they know it's going to drive a certain agenda.
Well,
And
yeah.
also a thing, aside from any conspiratorial or agenda-driven angles, like the stock market, like General Chief, you'll appreciate this. The stock market is such a complex, emergent system that anyone that comes to you with this like epistemological determination of like, by looking at graphs and trends and shit in past, like basically astrology for men, I say you should invest in this.
I don't think
There
it's that
is like,
I think there's a
well,
lot of people out there
it's-
that control media or have some sort of finger in media that can literally drive people pretty quickly to invest in certain things.
okay, it's
Yeah, look at
it's
crypto.
not that. It's not that, okay? Like that's part of it, but that's like a minor part of it. The thing is, it's like there are certain like fundamentals. Like look up sector rotation
No,
investment,
you're right.
and you'll see what I mean. There's like certain things in the stock markets where it's okay. The thing of it is, the reason why you're right, Ian, is because the people who put out that misinformation actually know how the market really works.
Absolutely.
So if you do the opposite of what they say, this is not financial advice. I am not telling anyone how to invest in anything. Don't believe me with your investments. Consult a qualified professional.
They'll design information that they know is going to inflame a certain group and get a certain result, or provoke. Whether you want to inflame in a negative way or provoke in a positive way for your own benefits, they design the information in that way to get a positive result for themselves.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. But here's the thing: in order to be able to do that, they have to know what is really going to work.
Yes, I
and
agreed.
then they have to obfuscate it. Now, when they obfuscate it, that's why what you're saying is like, if you do the opposite of these people, you'll actually make more money. Not financial advice. This is just opinion, but that's why that actually works, because those agents that you're talking about know how it really works and they're obfuscating it.
Yes.
So if
and-
you like go against their grain, you'll actually be in the same position they are of actually making the money.
Yes, and I would just like to remind everyone, this is not financial advice. Before you do any sort of like financial transactions, buy any stocks, buy any crypto, anything like that, remember to consult your doctor, okay?
Well, I want to say, if you invest in Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candles, and you hate the white man, you will make a profit.
Yeah, probably. Sure, let's go with that.
That
Next meme.
supports diversity, so I don't know how to deal with that. But legally, I'll say consult a financial expert.
Here we just have the president of Israel presents the 2022 Jewish Nobel Prize to Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla in Jerusalem. Oh, isn't that nice? That's so touching. This makes me feel very happy inside. We love
Very
Pfizer.
interesting.
We love Pfizer, by the way.
You know what?
Guys jack each other off in a circle on stage.
Yes. I would like to.
You know what else? You know what else we love? We love the Jewish people.
Yes, we do. I would like to point out that we've only ever received one strike on this channel, and that was when we reviewed something that was against Pfizer. And since that happened, we've seen the light, and we here at the Promethean Tides, we are completely in support of Pfizer. We love Pfizer.
Support everything happening in this.
I know
photograph.
you're starting a YouTube channel. How many views did that video get when that strike happened? I'm just curious.
I think it got taken down pretty quickly, so it didn't get that many views before it got shut
Mind
down.
blowing.
Yeah.
What did it get on Rumble?
I actually I don't know. I haven't checked, but it's still on Rumble.
Still up.
Yeah. But what we've learned is that actually Pfizer is I think it's the best company on the planet, and that no one should ever criticize it. YouTube has taught me this lesson, and I've accepted it into my heart. I've seen the light. So Pfizer is good. Thumbs up, happy face. Next meme.
Yeah, when you see this, you need to endorse everything happening here and be
Yes.
glad for all these people. Be very happy.
I think
Look how
the
happy
best
these people are.
The best way to put it is Pfizer is so good it makes my heart race.
Exactly. I feel like euphoria and ecstatic, like deep in my heart. I feel a rush.
Yeah.
Right.
I have such a flutter in my heart that you could almost call it an arrhythmia. Next
you go.
meme. Okay, so this is a TikTok mom.
Here we go.
And it goes,
We're getting
questions
spicy.
questions I get asked after my son took his own life. You must have known
He's
something.
doing the hand pound.
No, we didn't. Why did you think he did it? No idea. Do you think it was an accident? No, he meant it. Do you get angry? Yes, such a waste. I mean,
The hand pound
this like-
dance is so
Hey,
cringy,
wait a
man.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
I
minute.
put the song in my head where it's going.
Wait. General Chief, I know for a fact you speak American Sign Language. Is anything happening here?
No. That's not American Sign Language.
It's like this TikTok trend where they dance and pound their hands like that to the song.
Wait a minute. So wait, are you meaning to tell me that this person had a son that self-ended themselves, and this is this person's genuine reaction to it?
She may as well be doing the moonwalker or like the hoot scootin' boogie while she's talking about her son's suicide.
Here, I have another. Lil Lee he tested
Oh
positive
my
for RSV,
God, dude.
waiting for him to breathe better on his own. Yeah, nice. Dude, I love these TikTok trends. They're so good.
Giddy up, partner up, baby, let's go downtown.
I love the commodification of human suffering and misery, into like views. And so, in order to attract more views, you got to do a little dance. Like, dude, TikTok is the shit. It's so like, this is almost like Gen Z encapsulated, like nihilistic, but also narcissistic. You know, like it's.
You remember
the trailer on the next America's Got Talent? Like, she's danced for her brother's life. She means it. She loves him.
By the way, does anyone remember the YouTube viral trend of the Harlem Shake?
Of course.
Yeah.
The Harlem Shake.
What's happening here?
I remember on YouTube, people would do Harlem Shakes to like extremely inappropriate things, and they got criticized for it. But now it's like inverted to where it's like your self-deleted family member and your terminally ill newborn son. It's just like, this is like completely unironic. This is unironic clout chasing just happening full blast in your face, and it's not being condemned.
That's why the whole world's going crazy, because in the past you'd be like, man, I have this one family member that's making me crazy. They do shit that you would not even believe. But now the whole world has access to everyone's crazy family member, and it's making everyone crazy. They're like, is this real? Like, what are you doing?
So in the context of this TikTok clip, doesn't it make a little bit more sense when I say burn down civilization, return to monkey? I think it does. Next meme.
There you go.
This is a glow in the dark saying, "Hey kid, want to join this totally real terrorist group?" And it's the Boogaloo Boys. It's totally real. It's totally legit.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I most definitely do not want to do this. Remember that meme I showed before of like the FBI poking the Nordicist with the stick and saying, please do terrorism? And the only response to this is no.
This looks like a hacker is exposing image messages from Keanu Reeves' Instagram.
This
looks like what happened in the fucking Discord chat room like a few days before a certain mass shooting event in America.
Oh boy. Next meme. This is just it's just Donald Trump.
I love this simplicity of it.
I don't know if this is real, but I don't really care.
Look, and actually, so here it's just transition to greatness. Wiener is gone.
Okay, I'm getting the sensation that this is like obviously selectively edited.
Is it?
They didn't even try to do inspect element. They just said fucking crop it.
Element that motherfucker. This is where Photoshop came in to save the day.
Yeah, if Ian had been there, he could have made this so much more convincing.
I agree with Trump. We must transition to greatness.
I feel represented in this image.
Yes, me too. For the first time in a long time. This is where I want to transition. Next meme. Terror plots foiled by the FBI turn out to be planned, funded, and weaponized by the FBI itself. Oh.
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 Strike and a miss, boys.
Ooh.
Swing and a miss, boys.
Huh. How weird.
Ooh, that was embarrassing.
I mean,
Next.
a lot of there are a lot of different departments in the FBI, man. It's almost like a high school football team where I think a lot of people underestimate this. Like, they all compete with each other. And, like, there's so many people that go, no, they're all in it against me. And it's like, no, they're really just petty human beings, and they're not as smart as most people give them credit to be. They just have the authority to fuck your life up. That's about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. From what I've learned about the FBI, it's kind of like it's like one big high school, and there's different like cliques in the high school. So like you got like the Young Republicans Club, and then you got the environmentalists, and then you got the Stacys and the jocks, and you got different groups, and they're all trying to fuck the American public in a variety of different ways. You know, they're not
battle
one...
for power.
Yes, yeah, it's not one spear tip. It's a multi-pronged tentacled monster that's trying to fuck you in all of the possible ways. It's kind of Slaneshian almost.
This is like the freaking jocks from high school. Like, once they graduated high school and moved on with their lives, this is the type of thing they went into. It's like they just hated those fucking nerds on the internet so much that this is what they became. It's like, and just like the prototypical, stereotypical fucking jocks from high school, they end up hurting themselves more often than they hurt other people.
Fun fact, I like the fact that you guys don't know quite who I am yet, but like I was that guy that used to beat up the jocks at their high school parties. And I was total nerd and all that, but like we made a show out of it called Bully Beatdown years later for MTV, and we would literally film ourselves beating the worst bullies up ever.
Wait. You're saying that you were associated with a show called Bully Beatdown?
Yeah, there was a show on MTV called Bully Beatdown. Like in the trailer of it, I'll show you one day, but like you literally see me on a dark street beating up the guy, and then like he ended up becoming in the show later, and we like filmed him. What was his name? Like Jason. It was like Mayhem Miller or something. But like that was the guy that hosted the show, and yeah, it was all the people that would beat up and tease the nerdy or dysfunctional, you know, to society. I always liked those kind of people, but like I don't know. The people that were different would get beat up by these people, and I would literally go out of my way before video cameras were popular or anything and film them at their party, and they'd get beat up, and we'd post it on the internet before anyone else could post it on the internet.
Okay,
here's the thing.
Wait, hold on. To be fair, aren't you like somewhat tall IRL? Like how tall are you?
Like 6'2", roughly.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's easy for you as a 5'10" manlet. Okay, I can't do that kind of shit.
Well,
I agree.
thing.
But the people that were beating or would bully people weren't small either. A lot of times they would pick on people. I didn't just pick, like, even a lot of times if there was like a guy that was bullying someone and wasn't small, I wouldn't fuck with him. But like back then too, man, like some people would just be brutal and evil with the way they would pick on people. And I know it was their own. I've even come to my own terms, man, where I even feel bad about what I did back then, where I was like, dude, those people were going through their own struggles and they didn't understand why people acted the way they did. But
also, I'm not sure if I just said that I'm a 5'2" manlet or a 5'10" manlet. I want to clarify. I'm a 5'10" manlet. I'm not sure what I said.
Well,
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'2".
That's still pretty tall, guy. I mean, I would say that's like an average height.
No, I mean it is average, but here's the thing, right? On Tinder, either you're 6 foot or you're 5 foot. Okay, there's no distinction.
And
all right?
this is where my Photoshops come into skill. I literally Photoshopped the whole story on my Tinder one time, was getting nonstop dates. So it started out like where it showed me, or it showed like a room empty, and then it showed them walking out, and then it showed me walking up in a limo and picking them up. It was all Photoshop. And then it showed me taking them out to a nice steak dinner. And then like it was like this whole story that progressed as you kept swiping through the images. And they'd be like, "That shit's hilarious."
Okay, we have.
By the way,
wait, no time breaker, and we have a minute and 30 seconds to get through 3 memes. So we're gonna rapid fire it because I want this to be below 2 hours. This is Neo, and he goes, "What are you trying to tell me? That I can check the early life section of their Wikipedia page? No, Neo, I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to. I wonder what that means. We also have this. A true camper doesn't need wiki early life, Jimbo. He goes on pure animal instinct. I wonder what that could mean. Finally, Socrates says, I know that I know nothing. And Alex Jones goes, look, I know I'm kind of retarded. Alex Jones is Socrates. This is conclusive proof.
They even look alike.
Yes,
they
do.
look alike.
All right. Well, with that, I would like to bring this episode to a close. Any final remarks, Breaker?
When you're 6'4" and you look like Sasquatch, not a lot of bullies fuck with you.
That's true. And any closing remarks, Ian?
I trust people that are willing to admit they're a little retarded more than the ones that say they know everything.
I completely agree with that. All right. With that, peace out, everyone.